Evening, welcome to a very posh episode of Pub Foot with Miles and Jimmy. I'm Miles, this is Jimmy. There's a reason we're posh, but a very localised power cut. So where we normally film, where our set is made up, there is no light, so we can't film. So we found the poshest part of the house. You were already in a suit because of work.
Yes.
I thought, well, as we're looking posh and you look great and it's a posh area, I couldn't be in a hoodie. So I've worn this.
You're the only one with a power cut, by the way.
I know.
Incredible.
I'm also realising that I need to lose some weight for a wedding next month because these trousers are tight. Lots of Premier League action to go through the weekend. We are going to start first by going through Monday night's game, which was at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United beating Arsenal 1-0 to it was Mousse. Lise Mousse scored the goal.
Yes,
someone who perennially doesn't score goals in the Premier League. Scored the winner against Arsenal. And quite frankly, Arsenal were crap.
Yes.
You were rubbish.
Yeah, it was hard watching, wasn't it? To the point where I drank way too much alcohol to try and numb the pain of it.
Yeah, well, I thought that Sheffield United looked way better. I thought they played well. I thought they deserved the win.
100%. You'd think the last 20 minutes we'd be banging on the door. We created absolutely nothing.
Well, they looked like they didn't defend and scrape it. They had chances. They should have
thoroughly deserved to win the game.
Yeah, and I'm going to go out there and say Arsenal right now are worse than they were under Arsene Wenger. I really think that. I don't like... If Arsene Wenger had the players that Unai Emery has at his disposal, you'd be doing a lot better and you'd be playing a lot more attractive football and you'd be winning games.
Yeah, I don't particularly disagree with that at the moment. We were really bad on Monday. We were pretty poor last night as well, just to compound it.
Well, you won last night though. You scraped it.
2 free kicks in the last 5 minutes.
Hopefully,
no, we're terrible.
Yeah, but hopefully those free kicks will increase Nicolas Pepe's confidence, because if his confidence can go up and he can... So he missed a sitter against Sheffield United.
He missed the chance that if he puts that in, we'd probably go and win that game.
Yeah.
And he absolutely fluffed his lines. Wasn't too surprising, was it? There's still an issue with that midfield three.
Emery's selection's bad.
Yeah, you look at the game yesterday. Obviously, we mainly should be talking about Monday, but the game yesterday, I preferred the team.
Yeah.
There was Holding, Tierney, Bellerin. The midfield combo was a little bit better. Xhaka's nowhere near.
Who played in the midfield?
The first half was terrible. We had Torreira, Maitland-Niles and Willock.
Yeah, but at least it's somewhat adventurous.
But yeah,
especially against Sheffield United, at least you'll go at them.
Yeah, agreed. And
he's scared of away games. In the Premier League,
100%. We are way too defensive against teams we should be absolutely annihilating.
You shouldn't be playing defensive formation against Sheffield United.
No, not in a million years. And yeah, he's got to stop picking up points, and it's just not great.
The Emery out stuff started.
Yes,
it started to trend.
Yeah, and it's fully deserved. We haven't been great. It's been a bit mediocre this year so far, but we've got quite a lot of points, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, you are sitting pretty in the league, but at the same time, is that good enough?
No,
because with your squad, in terms of players and depth, it's not a million miles off Liverpool. It's not as good as Liverpool and City, but it's not as far off as your performances suggest.
No, I think give it a couple more weeks, everyone starts to get fit. He's going to start to trust players like Bellerin, Tierney.
I don't think he's going to bring them in. In that league, that was the league game to bring them in. Away at Bramall Lane, that's where you bring them in. You don't start. No, it is. You don't start Kolasinac. You don't start Callum Chambers, and you don't start Louise and Socrates.
I would not put Bellerin into a game at Bramall Lane when he's been out for a year and is highly likely to probably get injured again.
I'd put Tierney in though.
Oh, I agree. Tierney should be starting.
Kolasinac was awful as well.
Kolasinac was terrible. And there's obviously the clamber for Ozil to come back in, which at the moment I agree with. We are missing something.
You need spark.
Yeah, we do. And he might be terrible for 3 or 4 games out of 10, but at least he'll do something.
But the Sheffield United game is the type of game he would have been able to unlock.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And you look at the other players you've got Guendouzi and Xhaka seem to be going to start. They'll do the defensive side. Guendouzi will run around. Xhaka will. You don't need that other player. Who started the Willock? I was surprised he hooked Willock at half time.
Yeah, you look at the midfield three, you need someone who's going to tackle someone, someone who can go box to box, and someone who's just a bit of magic.
Who did you bring on at half time for Willock? Because we were saying there needed to be a change. he brought somebody on. I can't remember who it was.
Ceballos. I doubt he started.
It might have been Ceballos. Ceballos definitely came on, but we said either Guendouzi or Xhaka. I don't actually rate Guendouzi that much. I think he just runs around. He doesn't actually do a lot.
No, I know you don't like him. He played very well last night when he came on.
But again, coming on when there's tired legs is different to 90 minutes, and I don't think he just runs around a lot.
No, he offers what no one else in that midfield does at the moment, just driving forward. He's the only player who can do that. We are just missing something at the moment, and Emery's got to sort it out.
All right, let's get into this weekend's games. Starting in about 15 minutes is Southampton Leicester at St Mary's, so that will have finished by the time we get this up. So everything we say could be proven wrong by the time you see this. Guess that's a risk anytime you put a YouTube video up, people might see it later.
Yes.
I would expect Leicester to win this. I think Southampton do okay. I think they'll cause some problems, but Leicester look very good.
Yeah, agreed. You think that Leicester should do the job. Southampton at St Mary's been decent.
Hasenhutl's good.
Highly likely to pick up a point a point, 3 points out of something like this, because that's what they do, isn't it?
Yeah.
We doubt them, they get a win, and so they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Leicester have too much, and I hope they do, because I wouldn't want them to keep the run going.
Score prediction?
2-1 away.
I'm going to go 3-1. I think Vardy might score a brace.
Just about to say, I think Vardy might cause carnage on the counter.
Right, on to the Saturday games. The early kick-off is City, Aston Villa. You've got Brighton, Everton, Watford, Bournemouth, West Ham, Sheffield United, and Burnley, Chelsea is the late kick-off. Manchester City, Aston Villa. Villa have been doing well. Jack Grealish is in form, Tyrone Mings are playing well. However,
Game's been great. Yeah.
City have got a crisis at the back. They've started putting midfielders at the back. Rodri's injured now. Stones is coming back.
Well, you got absolutely...
He was on the bench.
I'm not going to say the word I was going to say, but you got absolutely berated for not warming up while someone was pretty much down injured and Cornelia went mental.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah, I think they'll win the game comfortably.
This is the type of game I don't think they're really going to need.
No,
I don't rate Wesley that much. I don't think they're going to need great centre-halves.
If they had a nippy Jamie Vardy up front, I'd half back Villa to do something, because just knock it over the back line and don't have half a chance. But Wesley's not going to hold it up.
Even a Delafeu or something.
Yeah, agreed.
Deeney and Delafeu combination.
Someone a bit more mobile, and I don't think they have that.
Someone big to knock it to and someone mobile to run off them would be... I think this is a game that they might lose against the West Ham.
Yes.
Felipe Anderson, Sebastian Haller combination would be good. However, Aston Villa, they are playing very well. They've got a good workhorse midfield. However, you look at the talent on display, and it's going to be tough.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think Villa will get absolutely smashed.
It's at the Etihad as well.
I think they're going to lose 2 or 3-0.
I'm going to say 3.
I'll say 2. I don't think Villa are going to embarrass themselves.
No.
Give a good show.
I just say, City are that good. Brighton, Everton. Now, this is a hard game to call. This shouldn't be a hard game to call, because Everton should walk this.
Everton, the most inconsistent side in the Premier League at the moment.
Last weekend was much improved by Everton, but they were at home. This weekend, Brighton aren't great at the Amex, am I right? They're better away from home.
One game at home, I think, and that was the Spurs.
Better away from home.
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be a home win. I think this potentially could be Marco Silva's last game in charge of Everton.
I think if they lose, it's close, because they'll slip back into relegation zone probably.
I think if they lose in the way Spurs lost at the Amex, he's in massive trouble.
They won't. No.
I'd like to believe they're going to respond and they're going to give a performance.
Everton played well last weekend.
They did,
and they scored a couple of good goals.
So inconsistent. I can imagine them getting absolutely smashed 3-0.
They've got the problem is they've got players and I don't mean actually I do. They've signed players from Arsenal who have been so inconsistent throughout their whole careers. You look at Iwobi and you look at Walcott. That's the type of player they got. That some weeks for Arsenal, it's like, oh, this is Ballon d'Or form. But then for two or 3 weeks after, they would do nothing. I remember Walcott has torn teams apart in the past.
Yeah,
think of the game against Croatia when he scored a hat-trick, when he was 18, 19. Unbelievable performance. However, with that has come a lot of abject displays.
Yeah, there's just a lack of cutting edge in that entire Everton front four.
Richarlison should be the one.
Richarlison should score more, he doesn't. As you say, Iwobi and Walcott are too inconsistent. Sigurdsson's been a little bit poor, scored a great goal last week, fair play to him. But apart from that...
Sigurdsson's not the player to carry the team.
No, exactly.
Sigurdsson will do great things if you've got the runs off him, he can play the passes, he can do really well, but he's not going to do it all himself.
No, by Bernard takes about 45 chances to score a goal.
Hey, that one last week though.
Yeah, and he should have hit it earlier, shouldn't he? But yeah, there's just a lack of cutting edge, and if they had a 20 goal a season striker, they'd be flying at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Moyes Keane could be that next season, but it's not yet. He might not be there. He's only on loan, isn't he? Loan to buy?
I think they bought him, mate.
Oh no, they bought him, but he's got a buyback. So if he'd done really well, maybe that's the thing. They said don't play that well.
Yeah,
I'll get you through the buyback. Yeah, after a year, and then you can hit the ground running next season. For this game, I genuinely think Brighton are going to nick it 1-0.
Yeah, so do I. I think it's going to be a home win. 2-1.
2-1. You think Brighton will score twice?
Yes.
Actually, I like the new boy Connolly. He's not a bad player.
And Glenn Murray up front always causes carnage. And
huge game. Watford-Bournemouth, the Nathan Ake derby. Watford's Danny Welbeck's out for months again, which is a real blow. Not only to the team, but to the
stadium. That was great.
Yeah. Actually, one thing Watford have done this week, which is great, is they've launched their We campaign. I don't know if you've seen that. So the We campaign is working with Hertfordshire's hate crimes unit. They are going to be it's anti-discrimination. It's about inclusiveness. Yeah. So you can hashtag Watford FC, and I think it's hashtag buzz off. I think is the other hashtag. Any sort of discrimination you see in Watford. To get them involved. So they're going away from so they're obviously in the Premier League anti-racism campaigns, but they're doing their own one as well for inclusivity for anyone, for race, disability, sexuality, gender, and I like that. I think it's great. Yeah. However, they've been rubbish this season.
This is a massive game, isn't it?
They played a lot better against Spurs. They're a better team against Spurs. Should have won.
Oh, 100%. They're miles better than Spurs. Spurs are very, very fortunate to get a point. Yeah, and Watford are slowly but steadily improving, which is good.
Holebas is suspended. I don't know whether that's a bad thing.
Big game, big game.
Greek. Yeah, Josie Holebas. I thought he was Mexican.
No, that's why he's hot-headed.
Well, Mexican's hot-headed.
Throws the place on the floor. It's a difficult one because I think Bournemouth are better away from home.
Yes, I agree. But will Watford come out of them properly?
I just feel like they just need to give it a go. It's quite hard to tell what Flores is going to do every game because he seems to change his tactics.
He's quite a defensive manager, and I feel like that would suit a game against Bournemouth because Bournemouth are better. Like you said, they're better away from home. They're better when a team will come out at you.
Stifle them for literally a half, and then go for it second half.
If I was Watford, I would play like you did second half against Arsenal, and just battered them. But the thing, they battered them. They played well doing it, and it was almost like this glimmer of hope that just got washed out when they lost to Man City in the next game.
Yeah, it was high press. Arsenal terribly played out.
But there's a lot of Premier League teams that aren't very good.
Exactly. I don't think Bournemouth will be any better. So if I were them, I'd get right up.
I do like Nathan Ake.
Yeah, he's great, and
he's better than anyone
somewhere
else. I tempted to say this will be a draw. I think it's been an entertaining draw.
I want Watford to nick it. They've got to win
Watford to win.
Got to win a game this year, haven't they? Surely. 2-0.
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think it'll be the same amount of goals. West Ham, Sheffield United. Sheffield United flying high, running high after a win against Arsenal. That's the type of win that will keep them up. I think if they can keep playing like that as well, because I
don't think they've got any issues. So I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, West Ham inconsistent. Didn't really sharp last weekend.
Absolutely awful last week. I watched the entire game and they were an embarrassment to that entire club. They were awful. I mean, awful. No, honestly, everyone was terrible. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. The goal, Sigurdsson's goal, Declan Rice lost it twice in 30 seconds. Neither time he should have lost it.
Declan Rice is an interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the player he's hyped up to be. And I feel like he's walking into the England team at the moment.
He's no dire at the moment.
I feel like he's walking into the England team at the moment because we pinched him. I think if we hadn't pinched him, he wouldn't start every game he started.
I think there's players who, in time, could do that job. I look at someone like Lewis Cook.
Lewis Cook's great.
There are players who are probably better on the ball and maybe even better defensively. But we'll see. But West Ham need to improve. And
West Ham have played really well sometimes. They were great against Man United. Yeah, they were great in that game.
They were.
They've got a very good centre forward. Sebastian Haller is a very good player. He's really surprised me this year. He's a player that I would have been like, Spurs should have gone and got him.
Yeah, his touch is great, and he brings people to
He
play.
would be-
And that front four are great.
Imagine him at Man United, bringing in Rashford and Martial off the wings and Daniel James.
Agreed. And 45 mil is nothing these days, is it?
Yeah.
So,
That is a 15 mil player 5 years ago.
yeah, agreed.
That is nothing. I still think West Ham might win this.
Where is it? At Upton Park.
It's at Upton. No, wait, that's an old one. At the London Stadium. Nothing's at Upton Park anymore. Dig, dig, dig. West Ham fans are happy about that. No, it's at Upton Park. Sheffield United are very good, but because they're a newly promoted side and they aren't this stunning team, a win against Arsenal can be followed by a loss against West Ham. But I don't think they'll mind that. But that won't. An away loss at West Ham isn't going to be what defines their season. An away loss at Brighton would be.
I think they're going to be organised, and I think they're going to win.
I think they're going to play well. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to have a good go. I think they're going to have a good game. But I think West Ham win 2-1.
I think Sheffield United are going to win 1-0.
Brave.
Really, I think they'll be organised, and I think they'll cause carnage, and especially when you've got flying centre halves.
Last of the Saturday games, Chelsea are travelling to Turf Moor for Burnley at 5:30. I think this is the game that the Chelsea role is going to take a pause for.
Yes, agreed. I agree with you. What were they on 6 on the bounce?
They've been playing very well. I didn't read the
Great
article.
result,
I saw a headline: "Why Lampard's the best manager in London." I don't think you can argue with that. I think he's
Not
doing.
at the moment, no.
I think he's getting the results. He's putting in performances. He's trusting in youth. Everyone he seems to pick seems to be playing well for him. He's been brave in leaving out Christian Pulisic in terms of leaving out a big money signing.
He's come in though. He's made a difference.
He did
set up
play
the
well.
goal,
Yeah,
he set up the goal of the week.
Yeah, but I think it shows the character you need to be a top manager, to leave out your recent big money signing.
Yeah, agreed.
I think there's a lot of managers that won't do that. That you think of the amount of managers who stick with players for far too long because they're brought to the club on big money and big wages.
Yeah, you would think there might be a subtle kind of nod behind the scenes to go, right, just play this bloke. He's worth a lot of money. He's got a lot of shirt sales from him.
Yeah,
Just play him, even if he's playing terribly.
but he
you
hasn't.
can't do that if it's not helping the team.
It's not
can
working.
You?
And the thing is, Willian and Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount
Hudson's always been brilliant.
are all on form. So Pulisic wasn't playing when Hudson-Odoi was injured. He's coming back in. Maybe now he's realising the Premier League is different. Like we forget he was brought in for big money, but he was dropped for Jadon Sancho, for a young player. He's obviously, I don't think he's this world class player that he's made out to be. I think the reason he's made out to be world class is because of a lot of the media that you see on Facebook and stuff comes from the States, and he's their darling footballer.
Yeah.
However, he's not that great.
I think he's a confidence player as well. You can tell he's not confident at the moment, and it's going to affect anyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
There is a player there. Reminds me a lot of Nicolas Pepe. There is a player there. It's just bringing out the best.
I think he looks less clumsy than Nicolas Pepe. I think he looks
Nicolas
better.
Pepe, miles better, but yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I think Nicolas Pepe's quicker, more direct, but I think in terms of actual technical skill,
I've seen more glimpses of Pepe in the last 6-7 games.
You've watched the games.
Well, I agree, but I agree. I think there's a lot of hype around Pulisic, which I don't think is justified.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. He's not done anything I've seen
in his career
to make me go, oh my god, he's decent.
But he's only 21.
Agreed.
Or 22, whatever he is. He's still quite young. Back to the game. Burnley, we say this every week. We know what we'll get. They'll be organised. They will they'll put the work in. They'll stick to the plan. But the one thing I think that gets overlooked with Burnley is they've got a very good striking partnership that complements each other really well. Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes, if one of them doesn't score, the other one will.
Oh yeah, you know what Burnley are going to do, and they're just going to get it up the pitch. One of them's going to win the knock on.
Yeah,
they work. Like you said, they're a great front two. They are physical. They're really good on the ball actually as well, both of them, and they are going to cause problems. And Tomori might be in a real game this week.
I think it's a different type of game to Tomori. Tomori's good against the nippy strikers. He's got a bit of pace and he's strong.
Test, isn't it?
This would be a big one. I actually think, I don't think that Chelsea will lose. I think they'll draw, and I think it'll be 1-1.
I'm going for a home win. I think this is the game that proves where Chelsea might be.
I still think they're going to finish third or fourth.
I think they're going to run out of steam. I think there's too many young players in there, and I think by sort of February, March, it's going to slowly come to a halt, and they might slowly run out.
Score them.
1-0 Burnley. Yeah.
You know what just happened?
Yeah.
Just had your Alan Hansen moment.
No, honestly, I think they will. They're a young side. It's a long season.
You're having your own.
I think they're going to run out of steam.
I don't disagree, but I don't think they'll lose.
I love the way they're playing at the moment. They are probably the best team, apart from probably Man City or Liverpool, outside the top two.
And Leicester.
Yeah, they are the best team to watch.
That's the top four.
And it's really great to see young players given a chance.
That's the top four, by the way, for me. On to Sunday's games. Newcastle Wolves at 2:00 kick-off at St James's. Arsenal Palace and Liverpool Tottenham are both 4:30, as is Norwich Man United. So Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs and Man United are all playing at 4:30. Starting with the Newcastle Wolves game. Newcastle have seemed to, I know they lost, but they lost in a hard-fought 1-0 loss to Chelsea. They seem to have got a little bit of a spring in their step at the moment. They're working hard, and I say this about the local lads. I really think it's helped the club, and I think they're going to win a lot more games than we think, and they're going to be very tough to beat. And Wolves played last night.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think you're right. They're more organised.
Yeah.
I think the fact there are local players in the team keeps the fans on side as well.
I think. And the fans hated the appointment. I think Steve Bruce has done a very good job, the best he possibly could at this club after Rafa Benitez. If they were getting rid of Benitez, they wanted Mourinho. You know, they weren't going to get a manager of that calibre.
No, they're a big club. Don't get me wrong, but they're not going to attract a manager of that quality. No, unless
they got Benitez.
£400-500 million overhaul of that entire squad, you're not going to get a manager of that calibre.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like what he's doing. He's doing what he can with a squad, as we've mentioned, week on end, that is a championship squad. But get them organised, get the young players in there.
I think they've got a Premier League midfield now. I like the look of Matty Longstaff. I'm sure Longstaff was linked with Man United. I think that was a bit premature. But I think that's a Premier League midfield too. I think that the only reason we're saying it's championship is because we haven't seen much of them. But I think the more they start to get them, the better they'll get.
I get you. Give it a couple more months. The
way they've played so far, I think they're very good. I think they're both very good young players, and they can be, depending on what their. Oh, it's the hour. We'll just wait. That makes it even more posh, doesn't it? 10 tolls.
Cheers.
10 tolls for Newcastle. They, for me, depending on what Newcastle do, if they get the ownership change, if they can get a bit more money in and they can be a bit more ambitious, they're local lads, they love the club, they seem like two boys that would love to go home on Sunday lunch to their mum for a home cooked dinner, like a big Sunday roast, family roast.
Don't we all do? We all love that.
Yeah, they could be the future of Newcastle. They could play there for 10, 15 years.
Of course they could.
However, do I think that'll happen? Probably not. I think someone will come sniffing around at the end of the season, so I think Newcastle may go down. They're still in the running because we keep saying they're going to be fine. We keep saying about too many.
I would say they're fine. I agree with you. They're in trouble.
If they go down, I think both those players. I think Matty might stay. Sean leaves.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It also depends what happens in January. You never know. Might be given a load, sort of 50-60 mil to go again. And I think if they can get sort of 3 or 4 more players into that squad, you look at it and go, actually, it's not bad. Yeah, it's good enough to finish 17th.
Yeah, Wolves are prioritising the Europa League. I love that because they're not going to go down, but I think they're going to lose this game.
Did well yesterday. Good result from behind. Really good win.
I think they can go deep in that competition.
I really prioritise that. I don't care if they finish 15th this year. Prioritise the Europa League.
Have a go at it.
Have a go, and then next year, the Champions League. Yeah, then next year give the Premier League a proper go, because then you're out of it again. Then go back into it again the year after. Clever move.
I don't mind that.
I'd do that.
I really like Wolves, but I think that because of the Thursday-Sunday schedule, I think Newcastle are going to pinch it 1-0. A bit like the Man United game.
St James's Park?
Yeah.
I've asked you that twice.
Yeah.
After 2 games.
At the St James Park.
At the St James.
St James Park.
Yeah, agreed with you. I think Newcastle going to nick it 1-0.
Yeah. All right, Arsenal Palace. Depends what Arsenal you get. You're at home, so I'm expecting Ceballos to start, maybe even Willock. I actually no, they won't both play because Guendouzi and Xhaka are guaranteed
Xhaka
starters.
will definitely be playing.
I still don't think he's going to change the back four, mate. I think he's going to play Chambers, who was pretty bad on Monday. I think he's going to play Chambers. I think he's going to play Socrates. I think he's going to play Louise. And I think he's going to play Kolasinac. I don't think that Tierney is going to start a Premier League game and Bellerin until the Christmas schedule when they have to, because I don't think Emery. This is what I mean when it comes to managers. I know Tierney's coming for 25 million, but Lampard's not scared to pull the trigger. Emery, I don't know if he's scared of his players. I don't know if because Kolasinac chased off those gangsters that he's scared of dropping the guy in case he'll chase him off. But Emery just doesn't have the bottles to be a Premier League manager. He's not attacking enough. He could be a Premier League manager at West Brom when they're happy to play three holding midfielders and fight a game out.
Yeah, it's getting to the point now where everyone is now fit, and you've got to look at it and go, pick your strongest side.
What's your strong side?
We go Leno, Bellerin, Holding. It's a toss-up between
Mavropanos.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll even take Mustafi.
Chambers.
No, I probably would say Louise. I think
Not
a bit of
Socrates.
experience there.
Socrates is an experienced player. He's the Greek captain.
Either or, they're both rubbish. Left back, you go Tierney. Midfield's a massive issue, and this is why we're struggling a little bit.
I think you've got the players. That's the thing. I start.
Oh, so do I. But it's just...
start Torreira, Ceballos, and Özil all day. Or Torreira, Ceballos, and Willock. Willock will run about.
I watched the game last night.
Torreira is a pit bull, but he's been playing as a number 10. That's the problem.
I watched the game last night, and every time they came forward, they looked like scoring because there was just no cover in front of the back four. And you need two to just sit there and just Torreira. I probably have Guendouzi. I know you don't like him, but at least he can defend and look to go forward.
Can he though? I don't think he does.
He
much. He just runs around.
Oh, God,
I just think he runs around. He just runs around. I don't see what he does.
But I don't mention it.
Yes, you do.
I'll mention it in a minute.
You will.
But no, you need the combination. They need to start playing Ceballos. Ceballos needs to play further forward. He kept coming to try and get the ball to the back four last night. Don't do that.
So I think he's a deep line playmaker.
Well, I agree. I don't mind that, but it's just.
I think you lose. I think by playing Ceballos in the number 10 role, you lose a player being close enough to the centre forwards. I think you need him next to a good holding midfielder like Torreira. If you can get Torreira to just say screen the front, the back four, play Ceballos as your 8, play an old school 6-8-10 or 4-8-10, whatever you want to call it. Ceballos is your 4. No, Ceballos is your 8. Sorry, Torreira is your 4. Özil's your 10.
I think you look at the game in isolation. You're right. We're going to dominate the ball. It does make sense to have Ceballos next to Torreira. I completely agree with you. If it was a away game, it would be different.
And then Aubameyang, Lacazette, and would you still go Pepe? I wouldn't.
Oh, I would. He came on and made a massive difference in the week.
Yeah, but that was Europa League against an average side. The Premier League, but he's not doing it in the Premier League. You've said for a few weeks, take him out the firing line.
I agree. I think he does need to be taken out, but there's a player there. And last night was the first time I saw him fall. It's decent.
Yeah.
And his first free kick was miles away. It absolutely flew into the corner. And he's going to come good. Okay. Honestly, he really is.
As for Palace, this is the type of game.
Palace win this game. I can tell you already.
Palace are normally superb. Barring Spurs, Palace are normally very good away from home. They beat Man United at Old Trafford. They always give City a game.
Beat Arsenal last year.
They beat Arsenal last year. Did they beat them at the Emirates?
Yeah, 3-2.
This is the type of game I think they can win. However, they've had a great start to the season. Arsenal are struggling, and I know I don't like Unai Emery, but I think you're going to win 2-1. But I think it's going to be a late goal that wins it.
I think we're going to lose. And I hope we do, because I think we need to stop putting pressure on manager if he gets the team selection wrong.
You want him gone, don't you?
I do slightly, and Marino was in stand last night. Yeah, I think we'll lose 2-1. I think we get sucker punched. Like we did last year. I think
love it if it's Townsend.
Yeah, Zaha will score. Townsend will probably score.
Yeah.
Benteke will probably score somehow. He'll be like,
it's one goal of the year. Liverpool Spurs. Okay. We're not going to. We spend a lot of time on Spurs, so we're not going to go too much into this. Tottenham last weekend were very lucky. We spoke about that on Monday. Midweek, fantastic. I would start a close team to that. However, after watching Man United Liverpool, I'd be tempted to go 3 at the back because Liverpool really struggled to break that down.
Who are your fullbacks?
Well, you've got to go Aurier at the moment, and as a fullback, as a wing back, he does less damage.
Just Azoka.
No, he can't cross.
Doesn't matter, he's got someone behind him.
No, but he can't cross.
And he works hard.
He
and
can't
when
cross.
you've got Robertson coming the other way.
No, but he can't. But I think Aurier can do that, but he can't cross. That's the problem. He cannot cross the ball. You need in this game. The chances are going to come from getting in behind the high fullbacks, and you need someone who can deliver.
I think Aurier's a liability.
Aurier is a liability, but that's what I mean. There's someone behind him, just like you were saying. There's someone behind him, so he can be a bit more of a liability. His final ball is far, far better than Sissoko's. I'd go Ben Davies on the other side because I think he was good in midweek and Rose has been poor. And then I'd go Foyt, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, and possibly he's been
You get
bad.
Sanchez in there as well.
I might go Sanchez instead of Vertonghen because I think
We're playing 13 tonight. On Sunday.
No. However, one player I want to see started after midweek is Eric Lamela. Puts a shift in, he'll harry, he'll get in Liverpool's faces. I've said before, I feel like if you press the Liverpool midfield, I don't think they're as technically good on the ball as they could be. And I think if you press them, you can win the ball off them. Lamela's perfect for that. I have Lamela in, I'd have Kane in. At the moment, I have Dele Alli in because I think he's playing well. I'd probably go with Sissoko and Ndombele in the midfield and not Harry Winks. Midweek, I'd probably go in the midweek game.
Midfield, or are you gonna?
I'm going to have workers in the midfield.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game because obviously Liverpool weren't great last week. Played all right midweek against a crap side. Yeah, it'd be interesting. And I agree. I'd play three at the back as well because they can't seem to figure out how to play against the back.
No, but you go one-on-one with those front three who are so dangerous.
Exactly.
And then you've got the cover of the fullback.
Exactly. You literally stop the fullbacks from doing anything.
Yeah.
And the front three they were poor on Sunday.
And you have big guys at the back, so the fullbacks, all that Alexander-Arnold can do, and he is capable of doing it. I think you limit Robertson more than Alexander-Arnold because Robertson likes to bomb. Alexander-Arnold can whip a ball from deep. Now, the balls were great, however, they're three small players up top, whereas if you match them up with big centre-backs, I think that you can defend that. But in saying that, Alexander-Arnold is capable of putting on a sixpence, and Bobby Firmino could nod one in. Yeah,
but I think you help yourself if he's crossing from that deep position. I agree with you. If you stop him early doors and the ball's going in early, I agree you're going to win most of those.
Yeah. However, I don't think Pochettino will do that, and I think Liverpool will win 4-0.
Do you? Wow.
The way Tottenham have played this season, we've had a couple of glimmers of hope. I could see us. We haven't won away from home all year. I just think that this is the game. This is a game we could completely capitulate.
I don't think too much is wrong with that. To be honest, I think Liverpool are going to be miles better than last week. They're going to be bang up for it, and I agree with you. If you play the way I think you'll play as well, you might be in massive trouble.
I think 4-0. Go on then, give us a score.
I'll go 3. I'm going to go 3-1. I actually think we're going to score first.
Give us a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, I think Harry Kane's going to score a penalty or something early doors.
Yeah,
and then
that's the only way we'll score.
Yeah.
Last game of the weekend, Norwich, Man United. Man United again, people saying they were sort of back.
That was 4:30
yesterday. No, they were saying they were back against Liverpool. I don't think Man United were particularly. You said that you thought they played really well.
I thought
they did their job. I don't think they created anything as per. They didn't play attacking football. They
didn't. But they
played how
with Liverpool.
They played how a mid-table team should play against Liverpool.
Oh, great! They did their jobs. They won a lot of second balls,
and that was Man United at Old Trafford doing that. However, you go back to them being the team that should be winning midweek, and they won from a late penalty because they were terrible again. And I think they're going to be terrible against Norwich. And I like Norwich, even though they aren't playing very well at the moment. But I think Norwich are going to win, and I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't got long left.
I completely agree with you. I would say they did play all right last Sunday. I quite like the way they set up. Liverpool had no idea what to do.
But they weren't back. This is not. They played an organised, defensive, Burnley-style game.
No, I completely agree. That's not the Man United involved, is it?
Yeah.
But they turned up, which is a very, very good thing.
Yeah, but you can't not turn up against Liverpool.
No, agreed. But there was more heart there was more desire, there was more of a Man United you see of old. But again, the squad's not good enough. It's proven. And they didn't create a lot, did they? You'll bang on with that.
No.
But I did feel slightly sad that they didn't quite win the game.
I didn't. I'm really enjoying seeing Man United struggle.
Oh, great.
I really am.
I don't want Liverpool to go unbeaten. So,
I don't want Liverpool to go unbeaten, but I'd rather them lose to a different team. Yeah. I'd rather them lose to Chelsea, City, obviously Spurs. I'd rather Liverpool lost to Bournemouth or something than Man United. That's the game that I want them to lose. I don't want them to lose against Man United because I don't want Man United. I would love if Man United finished like 15th this season. I think it'd be fantastic.
I hope they do.
I don't think they deserve not to.
It doesn't make a blind bit of difference who manages that team. The men are terrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a blind. I could do it and then still finish 15th. I'd back myself.
Keep them up.
It's just, I agree with you. They're just so bad away from home. They were terrible last night. I watched the second half and it was so bad. I'd hate to be a Man United fan at the moment. It's awful. And as you said, I think Norwich are going to be bang up for this. They've been poor recently, and it's the type of game you need to get the fans behind you. And I can imagine nicking it.
I think the Man City game. I think they'll do it again.
Yeah, agreed. I think Piggy's going to turn up.
I think it's going to be 2-0.
Strong. I'm going to go 2-1. I still think they're going to win.
Yeah.
But I think it might be a late Man United goal and might get a bit squeaky bum time towards the end. But
all right. Well, that's it for the poshest episode to date of quite like this actually. I do like the shirts, but it's just been a nice change of pace of pub football with Miles and Jimmy. We're going to go watch the rest of the Southampton Leicester game. It's about 15 minutes in. We'll be back to normal next week, hopefully. If not, expect more of this.
I quite like seeing it.
It's quite comfortable, isn't it? I feel good in my suit. I'm also going to change out this suit because I've been sucking in the whole time. There's one thing we have to say. We'll see you on Monday. And cheers.
Cheers.